guys, we're ready to get started. So thanks very much for taking the time out today. So a couple of very important topics that we wanted to share with you on our second Thursday event here. So as you know, it's an apprentice takeover. So we've asked our apprentices teams to give you an overview of their teams and also the fundraising projects that they've been asked to undertake as part of their assignment to HPE. So they've got, I think, 7 months to do some fundraising, and we need to support them as much as we can because, of course, we want the HPE Manchester apprentices to come first. So we need you to support them. And we're very privileged to have also a guest speaker here from 42nd Street. So this is Jack Nolan. Jack's going to be talking to you about his mental wellness journey. So I think there's something that we can all learn from that because there's so much focus needed for all of us on how to improve, how to maintain our mental health. And then once we're done, we will have some minutes for lunch. So that's also something to look forward to. So on that note, and be kind to him, I'm going to hand over to Jacob.
Just wanted to thank you all for coming today, taking the time out of your day. Just going to talk a bit about the 2 teams in Manchester and the charity work that we're doing. So all the apprentices across the country went for a development day in Bracknell. We got set a task to raise some money for a charity of our choice. So there's 2 teams in Manchester. There is the Peacemakers, which is the other team, and then my team, Manx for Minds, and we chose 42nd Street to donate our money to. So the estimate for our team is 1,600 because there's 8 members and £200 per member. So it's really a bit of friendly competition between the 2 teams. We've got one objective to raise that money, but of course there will be a bit of competition in the 2 teams. So the other team chose Save the Children for their donations, another good charity, and we chose 42nd Street. So this is our team. Courtney couldn't be in today, unfortunately, but she's a team lead. I'm a co-team lead, so I'll step in whenever she's not available. We've got Georgie, who does all creative stuff for us. Abdi, digital marketing, so he'll be on the Instagram and Facebook, so watch out for that. Ellie's our finance manager, and Lucy will be in charge of promoting within the office for our events. So we're 42nd Street. They're a Manchester-based charity that support young people from ages 13 to 25 and their emotional well-being, mental health, and just sort of getting them involved in the community and make sure they're all developing well. So our mission, as I said, we're going to do a lot of small fundraisers like the baby photos quiz we did and the Halloween roulette at social. We're going to be doing lots more of them in the upcoming time, and we're going to be doing a big fundraiser mid-2020. Hopefully, so yeah, watch out for the inbox and screen for the details on that. So yeah, I'd like to hand over to our guest speaker, Jack Nolan.
Thank you for that, Jacob. Alright guys, my name's Jack Nolan. Today I'm going to share with you my story, my personal mental health journey that I've been on so far. Hopefully inspire you guys, motivate you guys, and empower you. So before I get onto all that, I'm going to give you a few facts on why 42nd Street is an amazing charity. So 42nd Street is a Greater Manchester charity that supports people aged 11 to 25 years old with emotional and mental health well-being. They offer counselling such as CBT, counselling for depression, one-to-one psycho, social support. If a young person lives in Salford, they can get an online service where they can reach out to a counsellor online. And there's various groups that the 42nd Street charity offers. They have peer ambassadors, more ambassadors and creative agents and much more. So I feel like I'm a part of the team there at 42nd Street, even though I'm just a peer ambassador, because they provide me so many great opportunities like this one today to be here to share my story. So without further ado, I'm going to go and share my story with you, but starting with an inspirational poem that I've written on in a bit of a dark time, and it really inspires me on a day-to-day basis, and it goes like this. Like a lion in a cage, my heart pumps, blood rages, ambition at the centre of my game, to conquer and defeat are my aims, traps inside still attached to my past, yet I pursue whilst others lack. I am a champion, race to win, with the power in my bones and the voices within. I can and will, I must, In this game, it's down to trust. To win is a must. For those who see no hope, I aspire to inspire when it's tough and they feel the rope. From darkness to light, I don't just do this for me. There ain't no might. I will conquer, I will fight. My enemies will fall as they take flight. You see, I'm dangerous, I'm crazy, but I am a champion. That's how God made me. So, thank you for letting me share that. So my journey began about 3 years ago. I was at university, I was working in television, I was fulfilling my dreams, I was conquering the world, I was going out there, fighting my battles on a day-to-day basis. I had big goals, big dreams of what I wanted to be. I wanted to work in TV, and at the same time I wanted to, write books and do our creative projects. But at university, I had teachers and lecturers say to me, Jack, you're doing the wrong things, you're working when you should be studying. And I said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, look, you're missing lessons every now and then, you're always catching up on your work, and you should just focus on one thing. But I was already working in the TV industry and I was studying that TV course, and you'd think that the lecturers would be more proud of me for putting myself out there, networking, on the phones, doing the Wolf of Wall Street stuff, you know what I mean, to promote myself and get myself out there in the creative world. And you'd think that they'd be on side with you, but they wasn't, so I was having fights with them all the time, missing lessons, handing the homework late and all that kind of stuff. And it was really starting to get me down, along with some of the stressful and toxic relationships that I had in my life at that time, which was starting to really bring me down. And on the outside, I looked successful. I was working with Lorraine Kelly, Amir Khan, Team GB, at work, and then in university I was doing the paperwork sort of stuff, and it didn't really add up when I had mates on the industry saying, drop out, you're already in the gang now, carry on with the TV path. And I had the lecturers saying one thing, and it was like two different worlds going on at once. And then I had the pressure of my parents wanting to fulfill the degree to get the best grades I could, because my brother had just gone out with a first. So yeah, no pressure there then. So from there, I ended up getting really stressed out. I was running so fast and I had opportunities flying me left, right and centre. And then all these opportunities started to overwhelm me, and then I became delusional, and then I suffered my first mental health crisis, which they call a psychosis episode. Now, a psychosis episode is quite a difficult experience to explain. It's when you lose touch of reality, and when you lose touch of reality, it can be very hard to, think, how am I being real? And I had all these delusional beliefs. I thought that, God was sending me messages and all these different crazy thoughts that was going through my mind. Before you know it, I was thrown in A&E, and I was sat in A&E and losing the plot. And I had no idea what was going on. My parents were scared, I was scared, I didn't know what was going on. Before you know it, they threw a blue pill down there like some out of the Matrix. And I woke up in a hospital, a mental health hospital. In reality, I was just taken to a mental health hospital in an ambulance. And I didn't know all this because I was knocked out. So when I woke up, I seen all these bright lights like what you've got in here today. I seen all these bright lights, and I thought, wow, am I in heaven? To my left is that Jesus Christ, and is that the three wise men over there? I thought, oh my God. I thought, what's going on with me? Next thing you know, I'm seeing all these different people in there doing strange things, doing all these strange, behaviours, and I thought that, we all had special powers, and it was a little bit like the X-Men camp. And I'm there walking around, and I'm thinking, wow, what is going on in here? And I'm thinking, right, it must be normal, because all these people are doing all these strange things. And then before you know it, reality started to kick in for me. When I heard somebody on the phone to my takeaway house at 12 o'clock at night saying these words, I'm in a mental asylum! I was like, what's going on in here? I was absolutely freaked out at this point, because I thought I was in heaven in my eyes, but really, in reality, I was locked up in a mental asylum. So, basically, when the reality hit, I was like, right, okay Jack, right, what are we going to do here, to get ourselves out of this situation that I'm in. But then tears started flying down my face, and I rang my mum and dad and said, Mum, Dad, why have you put me in here? There's nothing wrong with me. I can't believe you put me in here with these people. These people, even though there was nothing wrong with them except for them going through unforeseen circumstances. And I was going through the same in my head. But it was all at different levels. And I was thinking, right, how can I get myself out of this situation? Thank you. How can I get myself out of this situation that I am in? And I'm like, really thinking, what am I going to do? So I had doctors coming up to me saying, Jack, you're delusional. I said, I'm not delusional. And I thought, what is really going on with me? Why is everyone saying to me I'm so different? And I felt like that all my life, to be honest, you know, because I never fitted in with anyone. I was always trying to be myself, and I never fit into any sort of social circumstance. So in hospital, I thought, you know, is there something wrong with me? What's going on? I know I've had these like strange beliefs, but they're gone now. You know what I mean? Reality's hit me. So I started to see all people in there who was like really in distress, in more pain than what I was, even though I thought I was in a dark place. And there's people in there who are trying to commit suicide on a day-to-day basis. I hear the screams at night, I hear them scratching at the walls, I hear all these different things still, you know, from past memories. And it's them sort of situations that don't leave you, always make you think about things in a different way, how lucky you are even to just be here and not in a dark place like they are. So from there, I thought, you know what, I need to help them. So I started saying to him, you know what, you can become anything you want in this world and in this life. I said, just because you're in a dark place right now doesn't mean you have to be in a dark place forever. Let me be the shining light for you if you can't see the light. I started speaking to him like this on a level. I said, you've got the spirit of a lion. And that's when the doctors came running up to me and said, Jack, do you believe you're Simba? I said, no, I'm not Simba, I'm not a Lion King. I'm not, you know, whatever they thought it was, you know what I mean? But when you start to do all these behaviours in the hospital, it's quite a sensitive place. And people start to think, wow, what's he actually doing? You know, they think you're going through all your different cycles of the illness that you're suffering with. But it was me just being me. And I was saying, look, let me be your North Star. I know you're in a dark place right now. I know it's hard every single day. You've got your demons and you're fighting. And every day you don't know what's going to happen. And some of you don't got supporting families. But let me be your support. Let me be that shining light. I said, come on, you can do this. I said, there was a girl in there who was like a champion Irish dancer. And she lost all belief in herself. And I was like, come on, dance. You can dance your way through it. You know, really, just give everything you've got, because it's you. You control the thoughts that you have, the mindset that you have, and if you have a positive mind, you live a positive life. I really truly believe that. And I started sending them messages, you can become, come on, let's get through this. That's what I was saying to him. So from there, after 19 days of being locked up, a bit like Akon, you know what I mean? It's like that singing the song Akon, and there's like a locked up. I'm like, come on, let me out. Next thing you know, after 19 long days, they let me out, and I was like, whew, you know what I mean? I got over there. Next minute, life hit me on the blind side. I thought, not an old curveball. My relationship of 5 years had just ended. So I had a broken mind and a broken heart at the same time. I thought, oh God, why is everything happening to me? I thought, I'm not trying to hurt anyone, I'm not trying to do anything wrong, I'm just trying to help people and better myself. And all these life circumstances getting thrown at the left, right and centre. And it's a very hard time when you go through a relationship breakdown, because that's when people suffer with mental health the most, I think, because you know, it's very intense emotions, you aren't saying this, your head's saying that, you're all everywhere. And you know, you're trying to like get that person back in your life, but you've got to realise that person back to you in your life and all these different emotions that are going through your body and in your head. So it's a very sensitive time for most people. So I say for those people who are going through them emotions right now, you know, stay strong, believe in yourself, and give yourself that self-care for you to go through them circumstances that are unforeseen, but you can get through them. So from there, I said, come on Jack, you've got to give yourself a purpose. I know life's been kicking you in the teeth, but how can you kick back? And that's when I thought, right, I had a book that was sat on the shelf for 2 years collecting dust and rejection letter after rejection letter from publishers. I thought, right, come on Jack, if you can get this book published, you're not just proving to yourself that you can become what you want, you're proving to others, people from all different circumstances and different backgrounds, that you can become whatever it is you want. And at that time, I wanted to be an author, I wanted to make my dream become a reality. And that's when I read the first book on the job. So I was ringing up publishers and I was going, right, come on. I said, my name's Jacknolan. I said, I've got this great book here that I'm hoping that you give me the opportunity to share some of my work with you. So that was the first phone call I made to them. A publisher that I wanted to work with, and I was laser focused. Got so laser focused, I felt like a sniper. I was like, you know, got in the scope, had the publisher's name on the desk, had the phone number, had the full works. And week by week, I was ringing up that publisher. Even though we were saying no to me the first 5 times, I still kept on going. I still kept on pressing hard. And I know normal people will just give up maybe one try or 2 try, 3 times max maybe. But when you're already in condition with, you know, psychosis, then you're not normal, then it doesn't really mean anything. You just keep trying to someone picks the phone and they decide and say, we're going to give you the go. So you just keep going. You've got to be a bit like entrepreneurial. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to push forward in all these different circumstances and situations that you face in life. So after 5 weeks of trying, eventually got a meeting in Manchester. I was a bit scared, a bit nervous, and I thought this is like something out of a film, you know, where you see the moments of the hero's journey and he's starting to actually get a bit of success. And he presented me with a contract, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. In the back of my head, I thought, wow, this is surreal. But it wasn't going to make the JK Rowling, but it was a step in the right direction. So I signed the contract, and before you know it, 3 months later, we had a book launch, and you know, we sold 100 books in one night. Now I know it's not a lot, not a big number, but it was a big number to me because that was 100 people's lives that we had an impact on. So from there, I thought, right, I'm on the rise, I'm like Rocky now, I'm fighting back, I'm punching left, I'm punching right, I'm going like this, come on, I'm going to the gym, giving it everything I've got, you know what I mean? But on that rise, on the rise path to success, I started to become paranoid. People that I was looking up to in the streets started making criminal moves, and I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone. And these were some of my best mates who were doing bad things. And imagine your social circle becoming even more toxic. You're thinking, nah, this isn't for me, this. And then next minute, paranoia starts to kick in, and you start to think, oh, bad things are going to happen, which it wasn't far from the truth. But what happened was, I ended up getting so paranoid that it triggered a second episode of mania and manicness. And I suffered another mental health crisis. And before you knew it, I got through back in the neck in my eyes, the mental health hospital #2. So before you know it, I was like, why me, why me? But I can't believe they put me in there again, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm trying to help people, I'm trying to do what's right. I got really frustrated with the world. Before you know it, I was writing all over the boards. I was writing like, right, this is what I'm thinking, this is what's going on in my head. And they seen that as a manic behaviour. But I've written on them boards, I said, I will speak before as many people as I can in my life. I will speak and share my story to hopefully inspire people, motivate people, and empower you to give you as much value as I can within my life. And that's what I read on the boards, and that's when you had people saying to me again, the doctors, even my parents, you know, love them so much, said, Jack, we can't really see you talking to corporations. And little did they know in the future I was to speak to people like Camelot, Barclays, yourselves, HP Today, last week was Mace Industries, you know, lots of big corporate companies that I'm starting to get the opportunities to connect with. And I thought, you know what, I could see then in the future what I wanted for myself. And all it was a matter of putting in the work, being focused, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, putting myself out there and letting the world come to me whilst I was putting in the work. Now, second time round, when I came out of hospital, I was like, right, look, how can I get myself motivated again, rebuild my life? Because when you're on medication, it puts you out of sync, it really does affect you. So you have to get used to it and adapt to the situation that you're going through. So from there, I ended up thinking, right, look, Jack, how can I get myself back on top? So I said, what do we normally do? I write books. So I started writing my second book, which is in today. Not to give it a plug, it's coming out in January, and you can get it on Amazon, all over the place, just let you know. But that's why you all better buy it now, you all make out. Only joking. Now listen, so I'm like, you know, writing my second book, and I'm thinking, right, come on, I've got to motivate myself every day, give myself a purpose to get up for. So I'm writing and writing and writing, and then my dad said to me, he said, my mum and dad, she went, look, why don't you go to a mental health charity and get some more support? Because you're doing all that on your own, but imagine how much better you could do if you have like someone to talk to, people to connect with, like-minded individuals around you. You'd be able to grow, develop, and you'd be even better than what you are now. And he was right. So I'm standing in front of you guys today. And I don't think any of you guys would realise that I'm going through anxiety, stress, and a mental health condition called bipolar. But because of what I've been through and the experiences that I've had, I've grown in confidence. Grown as a person and I've developed, and this is all because of 42nd Street. Now 42nd Street are an amazing charity. I'm so glad that you're all raising money for it because, you know, they've changed my life for the better. I'm not just saying this to be all promotional, but guess what? They really make an impact there at that charity. And they impact people, not just me, but loads of other people like me. They have thousands of people who have worked with the 42nd Street charity, and all the lives that they change is for the better. And it's to provide opportunities for them, and they've even given me the opportunity to work with them next year in January to really make a difference in my life, to get myself back into society, as well as being able to fulfill my career and my business goals, you know, working with corporate clients and schools and every opportunity that I grasp to get. So from there, I've become the person that I wanted to be because of the charity. everything is down to the charity and me taking advantage of the opportunities presented through when they've got business leaders coming in. And when I hear about these things, I'm like, oh, right, that's a good opportunity to go and connect and share my story with these business leaders. Because I was always aware that if you're around the right people and you've got the right team around you, you can go on to do great things. Each and every single one of you in this room can do great things. You might not think it, you might have got your head down, you might think, nah, this isn't for me, this isn't, you know, whatever. I might be on social media, you might be more interested in things going on there. But guess what? In real life, in the real world, you can put your heads together and you can make what you want to become in life. You can become anything you want in this world, in this life. Series that I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Whether you're, you know, whether from a different background, whether you've got, you know, a learning difficulty, such as dyslexia, if you've got, you know, a mental health condition, bipolar, depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, and just say to let you all know that you're all in the right place to grow, develop your mind, to become stronger as individuals. And if I can help any single one of you, you can always get in touch with us through the social media and Instagram, Jacknolan_YCB, and you can become. I'm always there to help people, bloody motivational messages and positive messages all the time. So I'd like to end on another poem, and it goes like this. Ba ba, black sheep. Give me one lion instead of 10 sheep. Find somebody greater than me so I can become, if not greater than. Because to fulfill this life, I must become a man. I'm not a man yet, but a leader of many. I stand before you as a king in my self-created kingdom. With each brick a new milestone. But it doesn't stop the sand from crumbling the stone. I lay many, each pound down to each penny. I invest in myself and others so I can be at my best. Becoming a man now, hairs on my chest. You may defeat me when I'm not my best. Back to the drawing board, closed eyes with some rest. Behind me I look and I'm in front of the rest. Ba ba, black sheep. Give me one lion instead of cow and sheep. HP, you've been amazing. Thank you for your time. And if any of you would like to ask any questions, I have, you know, one rule, you can say whatever you want to me and I'll give you the most, you know, positive answer that I can give you.
Who's going to start with some questions? That was fantastic, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very inspirational, thank you. Who's going to start with any questions for Jack?
How do we buy the book?
Go on Amazon and you can search Dead Ends, Jack Nolan. Just click buy.
Easy question, easy answer. Any other questions?
What's that?
What are these books about? Are they like fictional or like is it about real life?
I've got 2 crime fiction books, so they're all made up, you know, all inspiration that I've had from personal stories and stuff like that, and I've put together into novels. And then I've got a You Can Become book, what I've got with me today. So that's all like positive psychology, you know, lessons of learning life, from resilience, mental focus, and all sorts of different things like that. And you can pick these up on Amazon, or you can just get one of us at the end if you want one. No worries there.
How did you get to a point where you were having that experience in the TV industry, following your career, and almost putting your mental health as the back kind of stop? Where do you think that point changed and you just had to start dealing with it?
To be honest with you, right, the point hit me, I didn't see it coming. I was so wrapped up in the world that I was creating for myself that I didn't see what was going on the outside, what people could see around me, or how I was behaving. I was like erratic, I was like Usain Bolt running a million miles an hour, and I could keep up with myself. So the sad thing is, I had to just go through the motions of experiencing a mental health breakdown. But I'm glad because of it, it's given me so much more value to give and a story to share to hopefully inspire you like we have today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel now? Do you still sort of experience these sort of things as well? Is it an ongoing sort of thing, or do you feel like you've sort of turned the corner as well?
I feel like I've turned the corner because I'm like so much more in a better place than where I was in the past. And with bipolar, it's like highs and lows. So I'm not gonna lie. Last week I had a bit of a bad week. I was experiencing a low, and I was like trying to like push myself through it. And I had to like take some self-care, you know, go to a hotel, have a night in a spa, just try and relax, try and switch off and that. and I've come back and I've bounced back 10 times stronger. I've been at the gym this week, you know what I mean? They've been like, oh, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm on the rise. So thanks for that, mate. Thank you, mate.
I have a question regarding 52nd Street in particular. How do they engage with, because like they engage with very young people, how do they market it to those people? Their kind of like demographic in particular. How do they find them?
Well, I can probably answer half that question, and I can leave that other half onto Camille works there.
Yeah.
They do it through, like, you know, they just put a lot of stuff out into the community. They do a lot of stuff online, and I just found out just through Googling it, you know what I mean, mental health charity. So they've got quite a big presence on the internet, and that's how I ended up falling into 42nd Street.
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. So we promote our services online. We are based in lots of schools across Greater Manchester as well, where we offer counselling. We have a really strong social media presence. And we have a lot of group work projects that we can offer young people aged 13 to 25. Jack's involved in the Peer Ambassadors, aren't you, Jack?
Yeah.
And we're involved in a lot of social action projects, campaigning to raise awareness for mental health, which kind of gives us opportunities like this one today, putting on conferences, workshops, different things like that. We also run a creative project and an LGBT project. We've got lots of different projects basically, but the best thing to do is probably to have a look at our website if you're interested in finding out more, which is we can write on the board before we leave so people can have a nose there. And in terms of therapeutic support, you know, it's just a case of self-referral if anybody would like to refer themselves. You can do that, or we get referrals from doctors, schools, any professionals really. And you can do it online, or you can pop in and fill the form out, or you can send it in the post. We don't lie, our waiting lists are long, but we are very transparent with that, and we will update you in terms of where you are on the waiting list. But the good thing about 42nd Street is even though you are waiting for that one-to-one support, you can get involved in groups like the one that Jack's in, which offers that kind of like peer-to-peer support, you know, being around other young people and young adults that are going through the same thing. So yeah. And if anyone's got any questions at the end that they want to talk to me about, you know, if it's triggered anybody today, if anybody just wants to have a quick chat at the end, then I am here. So yeah, you can approach me.
More questions?
Do you think people are prioritising mental health more now over the last few years? I guess that's a question to both of you in the charity and personally. I think I've definitely started to see companies like HPE and the other ones you've mentioned are really starting to prioritise not just young people but everyone. Everyone's going through something usually. Do you think that's becoming more front of mind for people? Yeah,
definitely. I definitely agree with that because like everywhere I go now, you hear it on the radio, you see it on the TV, you know, 2-minute silence for yourself and all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment in society. Definitely in the past few years that have made mental health even more open to people to become, you know, more aware of it and to break stigmas around it. So it's definitely a big thing.
Any last questions before we move on to?
First, I really enjoyed the poetry. I thought that was amazing. How has that in particular helped you sort of through the journey? And is that in any of your books?
I do have a poem book I need to release. And I've got it there, it's just collecting dust. I need to just stop being lazy and be like, right, come on, Jack, get it done. But yeah, it's been like a big part of my life really, since I was a kid, 15 years of age, you know, doing all creative things, working in film, working in TV, and being about creative people. And I just thought it'd be a way for me to have more of a voice by expressing what was going on with me at that time and sort of turn it into like art, you could say, you know what I mean? So it's been quite a big part of who I am as a person to inspire me as well, because it's quite motivating messages within the poems that I sort of say.
I look forward to the book.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, any final questions then for Jack? Okay, so we're going to close just by saying